Imagine trying to reach a place on Earth where maps feel useless, rescue is almost impossible, and even the journey itself can take weeks or months of planning. No airports, no roads, no nearby cities, just raw geography pushing back against human curiosity. When we ask, what's the most difficult place to get to in the world? We're really asking a deeper question about the limits of human access on this planet. Because difficulty isn't just about distance. It's about isolation, danger, weather, politics, and whether survival itself is guaranteed. At first, you might think the answer is space-like environments on Earth, such as Antarctica. And you wouldn't be wrong to consider it. Antarctica is the coldest, driest, windiest continent on the planet. No permanent residents. Temperatures that can drop below -80 degrees Celsius. Months of darkness. Reaching Antarctica requires specialized icebreaker ships or military-grade aircraft. And once you're there, moving inland is an entirely different challenge. Vast ice sheets hide crevasses deep enough to swallow vehicles. Storms can ground planes for weeks. Yet, despite all this, Antarctica is visited every year by scientists and even tourists. That fact alone disqualifies it from being the most difficult place to reach. So let's go deeper into isolation. Consider North Sentinel Island, a tiny island in the Bay of Bengal. On a map, it doesn't look particularly extreme. No glaciers, no towering mountains. But access isn't limited by nature alone. It's limited by law and survival. The Sentinelese people, one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth, actively reject all outsiders. Approaching the island is illegal under Indian law, and attempts to land have resulted in deadly consequences. Boats are chased away with arrows. Helicopters are attacked. Even if you could physically reach the island, you cannot safely step foot on it. In terms of human access, this makes North Sentinel Island almost completely unreachable. But again, the barrier here is human protection, not pure geography. Now let's talk about a place where geography itself seems hostile to life. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean lies Point Nemo. This isn't an island. It's a point in the ocean, the location on Earth farthest from any landmass. The nearest humans are often not on Earth at all, but aboard the International Space Station passing overhead. To reach Point Nemo, you'd need a long-range vessel capable of surviving massive swells and unpredictable storms, with no ports for thousands of kilometers. There's no rescue nearby. If something goes wrong, help could take days, or never arrive. It's so isolated that space agencies intentionally crash old satellites here because the odds of hitting anything or anyone are almost zero. Yet technically, you can still sail there, which keeps it just shy of the top spot. Next, picture a place so remote that even experienced explorers hesitate to attempt it. Deep in eastern Siberia lies Oymyakon, often called the coldest permanently inhabited place on Earth. Winter temperatures regularly plunge below -60 degrees Celsius. Vehicles must be kept running constantly to prevent engines from freezing solid. Roads become sheets of ice. Breathing itself can burn your lungs. But despite its brutal climate, Oymyakon has roads, homes, and people who live there year-round. Extreme, yes, but reachable. What about deserts? The Rub al Khali is one of the largest sand deserts on Earth. Endless dunes, no rivers, almost no life. Temperatures soar during the day and drop sharply at night. Navigation is extremely difficult because dunes constantly shift, erasing tracks and landmarks. Travelers can easily become disoriented and perish within hours without water. Still, with modern vehicles and satellite navigation, expeditions do cross it. Now, we arrive at a category that pushes difficulty to its absolute limit, the poles of inaccessibility. A pole of inaccessibility is defined as the point on a landmass that is farthest from any coastline, and among them, one stands above all others. The Antarctic pole of inaccessibility is arguably the most difficult place to reach on Earth. This location lies deep within the Antarctic continent, over 1,600 kilometers from the nearest coast. There are no landmarks, no permanent research stations, no easy landing strips. The elevation is over 3,700 meters, which means thinner air combined with extreme cold. Temperatures hover around -55 degrees Celsius even in summer. Winds can exceed hurricane strength. Whiteout conditions can erase the horizon completely, making it impossible to tell where the ground ends and the sky begins. To reach this place, expeditions must first get to Antarctica, then travel hundreds of kilometers across featureless ice using specialized vehicles or skis, carrying all fuel, food, and shelter with them. There is no possibility of rescue in bad weather. If equipment fails, survival depends entirely on the team's ability to fix it on the spot. Communication is limited. Medical emergencies are often fatal. Only a handful of expeditions have ever reached the Antarctic pole of inaccessibility, and most attempts never make it. Even modern technology offers little advantage against the sheer emptiness and hostility of the environment. But there's another contender that challenges it in a different way. Hidden within Papua New Guinea is the Star Mountains, a region so remote that parts of it remained unexplored well into the late 20th century. Dense jungle, razor-sharp limestone ridges, constant rain, and disease-carrying insects make travel agonizingly slow. Helicopters struggle to land. Roads are nearly impossible to build. Some valleys are accessible only after days or weeks of trekking through terrain where a single misstep can be fatal. Unlike Antarctica, this environment is alive and actively trying to kill you. So which place truly wins? If we define difficulty as danger, isolation, lack of rescue, environmental extremes, and sheer effort required to reach it, the Antarctic pole of inaccessibility stands at the top. It combines every obstacle imaginable: distance, cold, altitude, featureless terrain, and total isolation. There is no nearby civilization, no backup, no margin for error. What makes it especially haunting is how empty it is. No wildlife, no trees, no sound except the wind. Standing there means standing farther from the ocean than anywhere else on Earth, in a place that feels completely detached from the planet we know. In a world where satellites can image every corner of the globe and GPS can guide us anywhere, it's humbling to realize that some places still resist us. They remind us that Earth is not fully conquered, that there are still points on the map where nature is in complete control. And perhaps that's what makes the most difficult places to reach so fascinating. They exist not just as geographic locations, but as symbols of human limitation. As long as places like the Antarctic pole of inaccessibility remain nearly unreachable, the world will always hold a sense of mystery. If you enjoyed exploring the most unreachable place on Earth, imagine what other secrets are still hidden beyond our reach. The planet is far stranger and far more challenging than it looks on a map.